Hey everybody, welcome to Personal Mastery Training, the podcast based on this idea that, well, my mentor shared with me long ago that one idea, well executed, can change your life forever. So if I can be that one when you listen to this podcast to get one idea that you can apply, that can just turn it all around for you, that's what I'm here for. And this is all about, if you're first time listening to me, the name says it all. Personal Mastery Training. Personal to you. The world is based on our perceptions. And the whole idea is that we did not get the user's manual to that beautiful brain between our ears. We can see it every day. People get hijacked by emotions and it takes them over. You can see it in life, business, sports. So this podcast is my passion. For 30 years now, I've worked with thousands of people. And during my athletic competitive days, I've realized that life, business, sports is all about the mental game. Because at one point, we're all physically gifted. But what separates the good, the great from the good is who controls that brain between their ears at the right time and brings their game that to that A level. So let's get into it. This one is a strategy episode. I do another episode, a masterclass, where I speak to those influencers, authors, competitors who are in the arena right now, falling down 7 times, getting up 8. And I want to talk to them because success leaves clues, their failures leaves clues, their entire journey leaves clues. And I don't believe we should get through a challenge or through our life. I believe we get from our life. So this is what this is about. Today's episode is a strategy episode where I suggest one idea to you. And I want you to journal on it, chop it up, see if it applies to you, and implement it if it does. All right. Today's episode, how to master your stress. Okay, I was talking to a client of mine, an athletic client, just came off of a very big competition. And we were just chopping it up about stress, about the stress he was going through and what it took to get him where he is. And the thing about this sport of bodybuilding and fitness is what the audience sees and what they put in magazines is this beautiful body that to some, it's beautiful. Many, it's beautiful. You know, they look great they look at the top of the game. But what behind the curtain of all that is sometimes it's their worst physical health time because they're down to the lowest body fat they can get to. They've been through deprivation of their meal plan has been limited. Their calories are limited because they're trying to get to that stage for that perfect moment in time when they look so the judges can choose. Yes, you have conditioned enough. Your muscularity is there. The symmetry is there. It's very, very, the window for opportunity and the window for winning is very thin and very slim the way you can get through that window. So it takes them almost everything they have to get there. And there's suffering required to actually step on that stage and win. So we're talking about it. And I was just going over this idea that it's always darkest before the dawn. And we elaborate on it. So this is what we started saying. Think about the seasons. Think about the seasons. If you're in a northern country, for instance, I'm in Canada, December 21st is the darkest, one of the darkest, that period of time in the 20s, it's the darkest time. You can walk outside at 4:30 and it'll be pitch dark. And the weeks before that, too, it starts to get darker and darker. And it hits the pinnacle or the depth of the darkness around that time in the 20s. And then it starts to peak and get a little lighter. Maybe now it's dark at 4:45, then 5. Eventually it starts to get lighter. And then obviously by June 21st in the 20s, give or take, it's 9:30, quarter to 10. It's still light outside. But then we go back again in the cycle. We start to get a little darker. So this whole idea of light and dark is this idea that that's life. One moment you'll be flying high. You'll be doing great. Whatever you decide that's great for you. Money, relationships, health, flying high. unstoppable, invincible. Then you hit a hiccup and you take a dip. And you go into the dark times, the darker days, where you don't know if you're going to survive the next day, where the darkness doesn't seem to end. We've all been there. That's life. You can't avoid it. And it's going to get you either health, finance, or relationship. Hopefully you don't have all three hit you. Some people do. And it can seem pretty dark. But here's what I'm saying. This is something I said to him. When do you know you're coming out of the darkness? And I was just saying that to him. When do you know? When do you know? Because sometimes you think you're almost out of darkness and then it gets darker. When do you know? That's the frustrating part. You don't know when you're going to be out. But here's the indication. See, December, let's say 21st is the darkest. Let's choose a number. 21st is the darkest. December 19th, December 18th, 17th. Go back even another week or two. December 1st. It's dark. Not that dark, but it's dark. So you think this is it. Maybe I'm going to turn around. Nope. December 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. And the numbers keep going. And now you're frustrated because you're into December 19th. It's been 18 days of darkness and it seemed it's getting darker earlier. When are we going to get out of this? Then you hit the 21st and it's real dark. Now we're earlier and darker. Pitch black. You can't see a thing. Earlier. You're feeling a little low, depressed, because you don't know when this thing's going to end. But if you take note, start to track it. December 22nd, we're moving from 4:30 to 4:30, 4:35. 4:35, it gets a little bit, you start to notice the time's creeping up, getting a little longer. Instead of earlier, it's getting longer just by a few minutes. Nothing promising, but it's the crack. It's the crack. It's starting to get a little longer. By the new year, 8-10 days later, 5 o'clock, it's getting a little, it gets dark at 5. You got a half hour. Then if you keep tracking it, keep paying attention, being awake, you're mid-January and it's 6, getting lighter, less dark. See, you start to notice, you start to look for any crack, any light in your darkness. See, sometimes it can be so dark that we miss that little light that you need to see. That's hope. And that's what we got to become awake to, because it doesn't have to be all of a sudden, blam, there's light and you're here. No, it can be a little pinhole of a light that you see, that you start to become hopeful. You grab it and you start to move towards it. 4:31, 4:32, 4:33. You start moving towards the light because you know it's darkest before what? Before the dawn. The dawn is coming. And if you hold on, just hold on. And if I back that up and go, what if you thought December 20th or 19 was your darkness? 20 comes and you don't see a light. 21 comes, you still don't see a light. You see no pinhole because you realize I haven't hit the darkness yet. Let me weather this a little longer. Let me weather this. If nature is right, there's going to be a cycle. It's coming. Just got to persevere. Just got to hold on. Look for the pinhole. Look for the pinhole. And that might be someone coming in and giving you an opportunity. It might be your health, getting a better news, getting someone to give you a solution. a book you read, something you heard, one idea, and you execute on it, starts to turn it around. The pinhole, and you hold on. You hold on. 22nd, it's getting lighter. Keep holding on. 23rd, a little bit lighter. And you keep moving. And you keep holding on. And you keep holding on. All of a sudden, here we are at the time of this recording. It is now June. And guess what? It's 8 o'clock at night. And we got light. 4 more hours. 8 o'clock at night. We have more light. 8:30. Light. Sun. It's bright. We made it through the winter. However, and then you flip it though. Here's the flip. June 21st, 10 a.m. at night can be light. But after that, it starts to get, I expect it to start to get a little bit less. So I get ready, get my mental game ready, because I know the cycle is going to come. Too many people get high on the highs and forget there's going to be a cycle. And they have to be prepared for it. Don't get fooled by the high. It's coming. We all know that. This is 101. Cycles. Life goes in cycles. Don't get fooled by that. Don't get it twisted. It's coming. And then though, flip side is when the darkness comes, if you hang on, it's going to be light on your back and you're going to ride them. Now, if you start to implement this and ride this out, guess what happens? Your lows aren't as low because you're weathering this. You're getting from it, not through it. And then when you get high, you enjoy those moments. You allow yourself to enjoy those moments because guess what? Cycle. By enjoying the highs, the lows will be higher. You feel me? So, how to master your stress is start to ride the wave, ride the circadian rhythm, ride the analog, the sine wave. Ride it. It happens in nature. You see it all the time in nature. The sine wave of electrical, digital versus analog, the analog wave. You see it. It happens all the time in nature. Yin, yang, night, day, all the time. Opposites. You must have opposites to make something exist. Depolarization of the nerve counts on opposites, negative, positive, to propagate that electrical signal. It happens everywhere. So, how to get too stressed? That's how. Look for the pinhole. Ride the wave. Realize that it's always darkest in your darkest times. If you just hang on, man, I know it's easy to say, but it is what it is. You just got to hang on. Too many quit too early in so many ways. Just before the pinhole. So, anyways, one idea we'll execute. I hope that helps somebody, or if you know somebody going through it, maybe they need to hear that needs to just hang on and wait. Share this podcast. Let's build this community of people who believe that life isn't a game of luck. You don't just wake up happy, successful. You have to put the work in. And that's what we do here. So subscribe, and share. Hit me up. I've got my book, Journey to Personal Greatness, Mind, Body, and Soul, a blueprint for life-bound self-mastery. You can get it at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Chapters Indigo in Canada. And if I can help you in any way, let me know. All right. Until next time, everybody. Be back with a masterclass or a strategy session soon, and we'll reconnect. All right. Peace and love.